So I did setting is key for my project. In order to do my project, I really decided to take the setting out of each writing I did. Doing this showed me how important the setting was. The first passage I read was Standing by David Seardice. The first line was, "It was a long 1:30, maybe 35 people, all of them cranky and exhausted." So this story was about being in an airport, and for someone who's never been in an airport like me, I have no idea what even goes on in an airport. I know it's hectic from what family members have told me, but that's about it. So without him giving me all those things that are set up in an airport, the people, the kind of people that are in there, you could obviously tell that he was a frequent user of the airport, knowing how much he knew about it. Even I just kind of pictured him standing there and seeing all this stuff going around him. And without that, I really would have had no idea what an airport is actually like. Another one would be someone in an $8 t-shirt is whipping out his cell phone. So this is obviously a small piece, a small thing to notice. But with him noticing that shows you what kind of people are in an airport. And so when I pictured what was going on, this is kind of what came to my mind. I just really pictured a lot going on in a very short time, people rushing around. My next thing would be from Heaven and Earth and Jess by Andy Dillard. He was exactly half in and half out of the water, looking like a seismic, I can't remember figure that out, the diagram of an amphibian. So this really was about, at first I thought it was someone walking along this pond and frogs jumping around, but then when I kept reading, I realized he's getting eaten by something towards the end. So at first I was confused, but then after he put those pieces of setting in, or she put the pieces of setting in, without them I would have had no idea what actually was going on. He was shrieking before my eyes like a deflating football. That really that picture showed me the way he breathes. Frogs breathe in a really weird way. I found out actually for this. So I pictured this, a frog sticking half in, half out of the water. The next one would be There Is No Word by Tony Hoagland. There isn't a word for walking out of the grocery store with a gallon jug of milk in a plastic sack. So I go grocery shopping a lot, so this kind of was easy to relate to because carrying milk in a plastic bag is the worst idea ever. And another one would be As It Exceeds Its Elastic Captivity. He could have easily just chose to say the bag was about to break. Instead, he chose this way, which really painted a different picture for me, and I could actually picture it more rather than just saying the plastic bag broke. This is obviously not a milk. I couldn't find one with milk in it, but this is kind of what I pictured. Around the edge right here, you can obviously see the elastic is stretched completely thin. Obviously that bag is tore up. And then the next one would be Love Is Not an Emergency by Aaron Bellew. Like two strike felons who smile for the security cameras. And the next one is Crying but looks up to order the famous disco fries. So this was really confusing to me because I thought 1 second we were at one place and then another we weren't. The emotions are expressed through the setting. So without the setting in this, I would absolutely have no idea what was going on. So I took the setting out to see how important it actually was, and I realized I wouldn't have got that ugly cry feeling of someone crying and looking up to order fries. And to relate the two strike felons smiling for the security cameras gives you a sense of mood through setting. And this is the picture I chose. I just pictured someone ugly crying. I'm gonna leave you guys with this quote: "The difficulty of literature is not to write, but to write what you mean." I believe this to be true and important to add to my presentation because without setting, it's just words on lines and filling up space. I realized taking out the setting to do my project was a good idea only because I could actually see what setting actually did for each of my writings that I read. Without setting, things would absolutely not make sense, and I figured that out doing this project. Thanks. And that's just my